I know I've done this before, but I just love hearing the birds and the silence. Fortunately, all the work has stopped on the north wall now. Needed to be done, but of course it was some machinery going on all day, so now we've got our silence back. It's lovely here again. Anyway, as you can see, we're joined by a few more friends. So these are the Post Boat and Billy Boy, which is a Drascombe drifter, I think. And have we got anyone else there? Oh, we have got one more. Yeah, the big yacht that usually moored right out at the end there. So I think we've got 6 boats on the moorings now, which is a bit of an improvement. Yeah, nice to have some friends out there. It's been a rough start to the season in terms of weather, really. We're all having to get used to it. And yeah, it's just been quite rough. And I've also been quite busy. And I know probably keep going on about that. But when you get work and you're paid, you got to keep it going. So yeah, but hopefully we're going to calm down a little bit. Next few weeks are going to become quite interesting, I think. Hopefully that starts today. So today's all about getting these brand new sails on the boat, and I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I really am. And then I think in the next video, the sailing video, we're going to do a couple of challenges, because the wind is supposed to be pretty decent wind today. Not too much, not too little. Decent wind, really good wind to test out these new sails. So let's get the boat in, because I need to get the gaff and the mizzen mast out here to be able to change the sails. And then we've got a few other little bits and bobs to do in this video as well. And then we'll go sailing, I think. One gaff, one mizzen. First thing I want to do is just lay the sails out side by side. Let's just move the mainsail and gaff out of the way for now. So there they are. You can see the mitre cut on this one. So far stronger sail. The other thing this has got is, I mean, look how strong that clue is compared to that one. It's got a leech tightener here, which is really useful, especially for the mainsail. And then you can just see the mitre cut. Look, this is just material, whereas this has been stitched. Now you won't see it on this side, but you'll see this giveaway sewing all the way up the middle there, and that is for a UV strip. And that, when you furl the sail, it'll stop this from happening. Now, on the lake here, I bring the mizzen down. You just may as well do it, because it takes so little time. So it gets stowed in the boat, so you don't really have any problem with UV. But who knows in the future where she may be? Or I may leave the mizzen up. I don't know, you know. Boats on the sea always seem to have the mizzen left up and the jib up. So on a jib, this UV strip is essential, because you can't remove it, because it's the halyard is the forestay of the mast. So, you know, I did go for a UV strip, didn't need it, but hey, I think it's going to be well worth the money. It wasn't much to have the UV strip fitted. It was like 25 or 35 pounds on this sail, and not much more on the mainsail. So the next thing I'm going to do is just pop this sail on top of the other one, and we'll double check everything's okay. Not that it's a bit late now, but there we go. You'll see that, I mean, that's bang on. It's actually, if anything, it's a tickle bigger, which is good. And it's definitely got more shape in it, this sail. That's probably why it's bigger, because it's going to get a bit more shape into it. One of my, so I wouldn't say complaints, but one of my sort of, something I catch myself saying a lot, that's how I'll put it, is that the Mizzen doesn't do much in terms of the performance of the boat. Well, now we'll find out if it actually does when we've got a fair way to test it. And actually it is half a lie, because I've definitely found when putting the Mizzen out, when running, it does add half a knot, if not a little bit more, so that is a bit unfair of me. First thing I just want to do, just check how we're all connected up here. So this is basically a reef or round turn 2/2 hitches to here, which isn't fabulous, is it really? It does come undone. You know, all my lines come undone on this boat sooner or later, and then it's just spiraled round. You can see. So I've took the line off. Interestingly, there was an extra bit of line holding this on here, this line here, and then we tied it up to this one. Interesting, isn't it? So maybe that's a failsafe. I have noticed if we go over to the main, look, that's got this is an extra line, and this is the line going in. So, interesting. No harm in putting a bit of belts and braces in, is there? So that's what I'm going to do. Whether we get to here and then we tie that bit off, whether we get to the top and then just double tie that, I don't know. Only thing I've got to be careful of is this hole isn't very big. Now, there are two ways of lacing your sail up. First of all, I've got a good anchor point here. I've done a round 3 turn and 3/2 hitches with like the little anchor hitch. You tuck the line under, so that should not be coming undone. Then you can either spiral it round very simply, which is what I've done, what was on there before, or you can use, I think this is called a marlin hitch. I've done that wrong there, so, which is the same as what I've got on the main sail, and I think I'm going to try and do it on this sail. We may not have enough line, but what you do, you go through the eyelet, around the mast, and then you create like a tie here, like this. And then you go down there, and again you go around the mast, behind the other line. So you're kind of giving it a bit of tension all the way up here, like that. So that one will go, this one final one will go round, just the same. And then all you got to do, make sure the slack is taken up. So these are right by the eyelets. And then, I mean, I assume we can just go like that. And then take that round. I forget what this hitch is called. This knot is called again, but you do your shrouds up like this. And the mirror never came undone, but on the shrouds with the new line I've got for the lugger, these seem to come loose a little bit. So we're going to do that. I think 4's enough. And then we're going to do one more knot here, which is going to be a round turn and 2/2 hitches, just to kind of lock that knot off. Don't want to set the mizzen mast on fire. They look good. And then, as you know, the flagpole or the light will go in there, and that just gives it enough tension to stop it coming out, which is brilliant. Really chuffed with that. So let's get rid of this mizzen and let's get onto the main. It's not the ideal floor to do this on, but I don't really have much choice, so it is what it is. Right, let's try. Let's have a look at this mainsail again. First difference is mitre cut, which means it's got this. It's just much more resistant to distortion than this sail is, which is just the classic cut, very simple. This feels like tin foil compared to this fabric. This is particularly weak, this sail. You can see this is the tack and the clue up there. Look at the difference. I mean, look at the difference in quality. We've actually got a foot tensioner on this mainsail. We've got a Cunningham point built in, I think. Yeah. Interestingly, the eyelets, that's interesting, isn't it? Look, the eyelets on here are separate to the reefing eyes. So there's the two reefing eyes on here, and look, there's an eyelet very close to that. That's really interesting. Whereas here you got eyelet there, an eyelet stroke reefing eye, and that was always awkward being that small. It couldn't be too big, like this size, because it wouldn't work as a tie to the post. So that's really interesting. We've got separate ones of those. Let's come to the top. There's the old one. There's the new one. Look at that. It's like night and day, isn't it? I mean, crikey. That's like a monster, isn't it? And then we come down here. Don't know what that extra little bit is there, but this is a leech line, so you can tighten up your leech. And look, it's actually fully adjustable. Is that just gonna see if that's got any. Oh yeah, it does have teeth in it. Yeah. So look, you can just pull it here, or maybe you pull it down here. Not something that you're going to be tensioning all the time. That is something that you just get it to the right level. If you're having this on the boom and then not on the boom, maybe you've got to do a bit with the tension there, but it's something that you would do once a sail, or once, and then just tickle it as the sail ages. And that's designed. As the sail ages, you imagine all the wind pushing that sail out, it's going to stretch the leech. And as it stretches the leech will just get flappy, and you can't tension it with the main sheet. So, that is designed to just give the leech a little bit more tension as the sail ages. I've gone for 2 reefs in this sail. Really, on a lugger, you don't really need 2. You don't need 2 reefs, let alone 3. I had it on good advice that if you're reefing to the second reef, then, you're probably better off running under jib and mizzen. However, the way I sail, sometimes I like to furl the mizzen, so maybe running under furled jib and second reef on the main gives me a little extra option. So that's why I've had a second reef put in. It was £60, I think. I think it's better done now than wanting to do it later. So the mainsail on the lugger, because it's gunter rigged, is only connected to the gaff, and that's the last connection you have. Then you tie it to the mast here, and we're going to come on to that in a minute. And then this is the tack, which connects to the tack on the boat. So in many respects, this is going to be easier, because this will allow us to maintain tension. So the first thing we've got to do is get this off. I'm getting used to these little pin things. I kind of worked out how you're supposed to use them a bit better. So just take that off. We'll put the new one in. Sorry, I said a gunter rig before, didn't I? The mirror is a gunter rig, which is like Bermuda rig with a gaff. This is a yawl rig, but it is gunter main, I believe. Honest with you, that might be what this is for. We just tie it off to that, but the other one was tied off here, so I'm thinking we'll do it the same. There is actually a manual for this, the Lugger manual. That isn't too bad. If you're a novice, it's not particularly helpful, but maybe we'll go through that at some stage this season. There we go. So let me just get that back on and I'll be with you. Before we do this, just going to double check the reefs are in the right spot. So here's the reef here. There's that reef. So the reefs, interestingly, that reef is not at the right spot, is it? But it's probably be in a better spot. Now, what that might mean is I've got to move these chocks. But someone I know who's got a lugger, he doesn't have chocks. He just uses the halyard hitch, and he says it just holds it by the, you know, the sail doesn't slip once it's up fast to the mast. So we could try that. Someone else I've seen uses eyelets, you know, just a nice big fair lead. Haven't got one on here, but I had one on the mizzen mast, and you just tie off to that, and that probably pays testament to the chockless idea, doesn't it? If you only need an eyelet or fair lead, and that holds it all together, that's probably only to just get the rope at the right spot, isn't it? So I'm not going to worry too much about that. And on this one, we definitely use the marlin hitch. We're going to go that way. So again, we go under. Once we've got it going, we know where we are. We can, there we go. We can move this on here. Then we go around. And then just being careful not to go around both lines. There we go. So like that. Whoop. There's a lot of line when you first start doing this. There we go. You can see, nice. Let's tighten it up. And then exactly the same as before. There. We can probably safely cut that there. I think that should be okay. We'll just give this a little roll, like we would roll it on the boat. Obviously it's not going to be very tight, but I can't carry it to the boat like it is. We've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 eyes, the same as before. Now, there we go. There's the new main. There's a little breeze, so just got to be a little bit careful, but that's looking cracking, isn't it? Look at that. one last thing I want to do is change this clip we've got on here, because this one is too small, and it doesn't clip around the new sail's eye. So let's remove that. There we go. So that's okay. It's just a bit of a beast, that shackle, but it'll have to do because these don't fit. So there we go. There's not much to do on this boat now. So projects wise, we're going to focus on mocking D hopefully in the next few weeks. Try and get her sorted out. The plywood has been delivered now, so hopefully we can get her sorted and we can get her back to sailing again. She's had a tough little last couple of years or year, hasn't she? But Lulu is looking lovely. Look at these sails, they're magnificent. Look at them, and they match the jib. So that's really good as well. So I can't wait to try these out, and you'll see that in the next video. Yeah, we're done. We just want some adventures now, that's all. Weather is changing. It is better, it is more like this. We have just recently had a little storm that came through, but we have got a voyage planned. So stop press, this is hot news. Sea voyage is planned not for next week but the week after. So touch wood, and this wood here, we big block of wood here, touch wood, we should be sailing and doing a couple of nights, I think. And I'm not going to tell you where we're going. That's going to be a surprise, but we will be going on the sea. So hopefully we'll be getting an adventure on the channel again pretty soon. Other than that, I'm just going to say goodbye. Hopefully the weather changes for you and changes for us. Don't want it to be too light winds, but we will be a good day, I think, to test these sails out. So that's what we'll do next. I'm going to pack everything here, say goodbye, and say I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.